Hello everyone. So today I'm just going to go over how to animate in Photoshop. So when you're in Photoshop, this is what you'll see when you first open it up. You'll see recent files down here. You'll see some other suggestions that Photoshop thinks that you should know about. The Learn tab is right here. So if you need to learn anything more, if you feel a little behind in Photoshop, this is going to be your friend. It's hands-on tutorials, step-by-step guides for how to use some of the features. There's also this button here to see more. Anyways, today we're going to start with a new file to work in animation. I'm going to use one of the presets up here for film and video. So 10 or 1920 by 1080p is the standard definition for film, so it's what TVs go by. The resolution is 72 pixels per inch, which is also standard. Color mode is super important. You need to be in RGB, as in red, green, blue, makes up the colors for any screen. It uses light in this way. Our background color, this time I'm gonna go with black, but you can choose whatever you'd like here. And then that's it. So we're gonna create, and here we go. So from here, I'm going to bring in my logo. So I could start typing like ComTech, or like for instance, if I start writing ComTech, here we go. You can change the color right there if you need to, and just make it bigger or smaller, whatever you'd like, okay? So, and then I'm gonna grab a little icon or graphic. It's easiest to do that in Illustrator, I find. So I'm gonna open up Illustrator. I have my lightning bolt. Since it's a black background, I'm gonna change this color to white, and I'm gonna just literally copy it, go back into Photoshop, tab over, and paste it. Paste it as pixels. Why didn't it paste that correctly? Let's try one more time. Copy, and paste as pixels. All right, here we go. I'm gonna shrink it down a bit. Here we go. So I'm gonna label the layer as in, I'll just call it bolt. There we go. So we've got ComTech, and we've got the lightning bolt, and we've got our background. All right, so from here, we're just using this regular move around tool. Again, just like in Illustrator, if we press Shift, it selects more than one thing. I'm going to try to align that just as best as I can. And now that we have this, we can open up the very exciting window for animation. So what we're going to need is a timeline, because animation needs time, right? So here we go. We've got our timeline, and now it's as easy as creating video timeline. So you're going to click this, and it's going to create a timeline with our two layers, one for the bolt and one for the text. Okay, so from here across the top we have all of our frames. So if you think about animation as a series of basically photos, one after another, and that's slightly different, and that's what creates the motion, right? So as we put our cursor along this timeline, we can see what's forward or backwards in time. So for instance, say we want to move this bolt. I'm going to toggle this thing down and say the position at the end or the position at the start is going to be different, right? So say at 2, we're going to keep the position where it is. So I'm going to hit this little button saying that's where it is. And now we get what's called a keyframe. This little golden diamond right here now tells the animation that this is the position I want it to be in. I'm going to scroll back now, and now I'm going to move the lightning bolt somewhere else. So I'm going to zoom out, maybe bring it off the screen, off the screen. Okay, so now when I hit the little play button here, it should bring it down. So at this point, it's going to hit that mark where we had left it. We can also change the opacity of it. So say we want it at full opacity here, meaning how see-through it is. And back when it first starts, I'd like to change the opacity. So in the layer, we're going to just change the opacity, maybe down to 0. Let's try it. See how it comes in gradually? Kind of neat. Kind of feels like it's taken a little while considering it's a lightning bolt. So perhaps I want it to maybe come in like really quickly. So I'm gonna hit this diamond, hit shift to hit the other one, because now both of them are selected. I'm gonna move them along the timeline. So now when I click start, it's a lot faster. Yeah, so that's what we can do there. And we can basically do the same thing over here with our ComTech, right? We can change, here, if we scroll down a little bit, we can also change how the text is being displayed and what style it has, right? So say I want to transform it. So by here, I'd like it to be where it is. Actually, maybe at the same point as the lightning bolt hits. At this point at 15 frames, I'd like ComTech to be exactly where it is. So I'm gonna transform that to here. Now working backwards, going back, perhaps I want it to be really tiny. Oh. Basically really, really tiny. Maybe coming from way down here. So that whenever we now hit play, it comes up. All right? But again, the opacity, I'd like it to come from basically nothing. And then, here, you know what? I'm going to make it come down even further. Here we go. Now opacity, I'm going to create that to be 0%. And then at this point, see how it's still at 0%? I'm going to have to change it. I've moved my timeline first, and then I've changed it. So then, I'm going to move this out of the way. As we click play, it's now animating. There's also things you can do with style. So let's see. What can we do with style here? At this point, we can, well, change, let's see, like basically, what does style mean? So, you know what, I think that I want to just back it up there and not do the style one right now. So I'm going to undo that. I would say that's pretty much it in a nutshell, at least the beginnings of animation. So you can move these along the track. So as you go from here to maybe now an extra 15 frames, the next 15 frames you would have the position be somewhere else, the opacity be something else. You can do all your regular Photoshop adjustments, and then just as long as you do it on that keyframe, then they will animate from the previous one. Does that make sense? Anyways, we are just starting out in this, so that's the very basics. Try it with your logo and then see how that goes.